Hi there, everybody. A lot of you know that I haven't had a garden in for the last couple of years, so this year we decided we got to get it in. We got to get one in. We miss all those fresh fruits and vegetables, although we get them from the stands around us and plenty of farms, but just to be able to walk outside in your own backyard and grab those goodies to eat. Something we missed about that. Also being able to know that what's on them, what's been sprayed on them, this, that, and the other. It gives you a good feeling to know that we just go all natural. I don't put any pesticides or anything on our vegetables. You pay the price a little bit because of that. You don't sometimes get as good of a yield, and you got to go out there and pick the bugs off. But you know what? In the end, it's worth it. But you may have recall, if you happen to see it, one of my earlier videos, way earlier, I showed you an area of our back part of our property where there had been an old pig pen, and I decided to clear that out. And yeah, you can see where it was kind of cleared out there. I decided to walk back here so that I could check it out, know what I have to do a little more weeding of the bushes and stuff like that, and go ahead and start planting back here. Plant some of the things that I don't necessarily have to be in nice neat rows, because I don't feel like going through and taking all those stumps out that I had. Well, when I did that, I came across a very unpleasant surprise. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is a blown down tree. We had a windstorm before the weekend arrived. It came through in the middle of the night, and I didn't really hear it myself all that well because we had a fan on in our room to keep us cooled down. But this is a cherry tree that it took down. A cherry tree that looked pretty healthy to me, but look at the way it just twisted it and took it right down. Yeah, it speaks about the power of the wind. How a nice, beautiful cherry tree got pulled down. If it had been one of my box elder trees, I wouldn't be crying about it so much. But a cherry tree, there's a lot of good things that come from wild cherry trees, like wild cherries. Not that I eat them, but they're good for the birds and things like that. And it's just too bad. The other thing is, now I got to pull up my chainsaw and start from scratch and get all this cut up and get out of here before I can do any work. But the power of the wind, how I could just twist that tree and just snap it right down. There's no rod in there at all. It just twisted it and brought it down. And I'm standing right underneath a huge box elder that I would have thought would have been the one to come down. And my thought is, I'm probably going to get my garden planted here, and then it's going to come down. Oh, well, if it does, it does. Power of the wind. And throughout Scripture, the wind is the same word for the Spirit of God, the breath of God, the power of God's Spirit in our lives. I think it does a little twisting and turning, and maybe even knocks a few things down in our lives in order to get us moving in the right direction, to clear an area. And I'm going to have to do this, clear this area. God says, hey, get this area of your life cleaned up so I can come and do marvelous things through you and through me. You and me. God working to do His work by His Spirit, His breath, His wind. Well, I can sit here and moan and groan about this tree all I want, but I guess I better get busy, get it cleaned up so we can get some things planted in here. The time is getting short to get the seeds in the ground. Got to do it now, especially back here where it's going to be a little cooler than out in the full sun. Although there's a nice little spot here for the sun to make its journey in. Just remember, God's Spirit is at work in our lives. And sometimes it can be a little inconvenient, but it's there for you and for me to do His bidding. God bless you. Have a great day.